No, 7 p.m. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee, roll call.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to seal the closed session minutes of March 11, 2026. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
The committee met in closed session this evening and voted 5-0 to enter into a settlement agreement with a teacher. Would you please stand and join me for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time, I'd like to introduce the principal of Leo Savoy School, Mrs. Donna Coder. I'll turn it over to you, Donna.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you for joining Leo Savoy Elementary Guitar Club performance tonight. Our students in the Guitar Club have only been playing for about 4 months, meeting just once a week. And despite that, they are an incredibly dedicated group of young people who together have only missed 8 days of school.
Wow.
Wow.
Outstanding.
And I want to mention this because we've worked very hard to improve our school attendance, and this group represents one of the reasons we've been successful. That success comes from the dedication of our teachers, our parents, and of course, our students. Our teachers don't receive extra pay for the time they give after school, yet many of them volunteer their time not only for Guitar Club, but also for a dance club with more than 40 students, a crochet club, and several other activities. We also host an annual talent show where more than 175 students participate, along with almost the entire staff. We often talk about academics, which are extremely important, but from my experience, the way we value students and make them feel about themselves has the greatest impact on their attendance, their future, and their ability to find their path in this sometimes crazy world. Yes, we've worked hard, very hard, to improve our attendance through strong communication with families and through school challenges that reward classrooms each month. But one of the biggest reasons students come to school each day is the dedication of the staff, not just in my school, but in all schools. The way they go above and beyond for our kids, the way they give their time to create opportunities, and the value they place on each and every student is irreplaceable. So tonight, I want to thank the teachers who give of their time and talents. And when you hear these students play, remember, you're not only hearing the music, you're hearing confidence, commitment, and the sound of a school community that believes deeply in their children. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our Savoy Elementary Guitar Club.
Hey.
Right now, we're going to be playing Cold Cross Buns. We also wrote this song. The next song we're going to be doing is called Spanish Theme. Last but not least, we have Billie Jean by Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Gee, that's what kids get to have on.
Look at who's got his hat on.
great job.
That was a cute.
Bravo.
He just did it with his little hat.
Woo.
That was cute.
Feel a little commotion for that. That was.
That was great.
Do, 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 do. Wonderful.
Mrs. Coder, this was fabulous. Thank you for bringing your students.
Yes.
Great job.
Very much, very much.
Woo.
Thank you to Mr. Tremblay, Mrs. Lewis, and Mrs. Pastanek, 'cause they did the
Yeah.
Let them leave. Is that what?
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. They were
That was
great.
so cute.
I love that. Was
Oh, they
great.
were so good.
Yes,
Billie Jean. Wow.
Not this young,
Right?
I know.
Like, oh, okay,
Started
Billie Jean,
with
let's
Adorable.
go.
Huh?
I wish I had started.
Billie Jean is not my love.
I was 30 when I started the kazoo, and I'm still not good at it. Still not
That was
good
good.
at
She
it.
came that way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, no
She
kidding.
was the hall, so I came.
That was perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect timing. You guys are all set with your plans to bring in food and tablecloths, yeah.
We got Park Avenue Pizza there.
supposed to.
They're gonna deliver,
They're gonna deliver.
get the bars
What
open.
time do we get to go in there?
You said yours is 3 to 6?
Yeah.
Go in at 2.
2:30?
Two.
Okay, good.
The whole day,
Oh, good.
technically. Principal town over there.
It is P-Town.
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 That was very different to have
That was
musical. Well done.
That was, yeah. That was really nice.
Hmm.
Alrighty.
All right, there you go.
Hmm.
Okay, we'll continue with the meeting and we'll go into good and welfare. For anyone addressing the school committee during good and welfare, please begin with your name and address. Your comments shall be no more than 5 minutes of speaking time and should be in good decorum. Please be aware that the committee cannot respond to you during good and welfare, but may direct you to an appropriate member of the administration team or may meet with you directly after the meeting for further discussion. Is there anyone who would like to address the school committee this evening?
Yep, here comes somebody. She the prayer lady.
Good evening. My name is Jay Thomas. I'm at 123. Sorry. Thank you. 123 Baxter Street in Woonsocket.
Can you repeat the name?
Would
I
you
have-
repeat your name, please?
Jade, Jade Thomas.
Okay.
I have one child at Villanova and one child at Woonsocket High School. I'm not quite sure if you recall who I am the last time that I was here. I had said that your plan was not going to work, and it's not working. Back in October, I had said that I was going to remove my son from the high school, which I did. And that was one of the best things that I could have done for him. No drama, no emails, letting me know that there was fightings going on at the school. His father thought it was a better idea for him to be at school, for him to be around his peers. He was wrong. So I had to ask you a question, Superintendent Mickey. Do you still believe, or do you still believe that your idea is working for these children? Do you believe that the new idea that you have came up with in regards to taking the phones away from these children during school is the best idea? There is an app that I had came across, and I was a little disturbed by it. That there was an individual outside of one of the middle schools, walking around the school with a gun, looking inside the school windows. So I'm trying to figure out if you still think that it's a good idea for our children to be inside the schools with a man walking around one of the junior high schools with a gun in his hand. I'm not quite sure which school it was. It wasn't the high school. My next question is, have anyone ever asked the children how they feel about being inside the schools? Or is it all about the teachers and how they feel? Because I can't recall one child saying that the teachers and the principals are not listening to me. Do their voices matter to you? Or is it all about what you want for them and you are blocking their feelings out? Because their voices matter. Their opinions does matter. It's not all about the teachers, because I can tell you this right now, some of your teachers are dead wrong, especially at Villanova. The principal at the high school is wrong. How he handled his, those children are wrong. So has anyone ever thought to ask these children how they feel? Because again, their opinion matters. Their voice matters. Them going to school feeling as if the teachers don't care. They go from home feeling as if no one cares into a school feeling the same way that they're feeling at home. My daughter told me that that she feels as if the teachers are not listening. Does it matter to you that you have students inside your school and they're saying that they feel as if no one is listening to them?
Excuse me, but ma'am, you have less than a minute.
And that's fine. And I told you before, when I saw you outside at the high school, and you agreed with me, I said that Jesus is the answer, and you said, I know, twice. I pray for these schools that they will get better, because right now they're only going to get worse because you will not change your policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to address the school committee?
Hi, Scott Hampson, 41 Pinecrest Drive, Woonsocket. My concerns with the crosswalk outside of the school, actually, the one that goes across Hamlet towards Davidson. When the students get out of school, they press that button, tells them to walk, the light turns green at the same time. So I've seen it time and time again. The students go to cross, the buses take a right at the same time, the students have to wait. Do it again, they go to cross, buses come across, they gotta wait. So is there a way that there can be like a 2 or 3 second delay on that crosswalk? So if they press it, they can walk across the intersection safely without having the buses, or have the buses just stop for 5 minutes, I guess, let the students cross, whatever's easier. But that's my suggestion to you guys. I see it all the time, every day. So it's a simple fix. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to address the school committee?
Hi, Alana Gordon, Wood Ave in Woonsocket. I wasn't actually planning on getting up to speak, and usually I have speeches prepared whenever I speak, so pardon me. But I was listening to what Jay Thomas had to say, and I actually have met with the students myself, and I did hear what they had to say, and I was a little concerned, so I thought I would actually get up and address this. I did hear from the kids in the school system, and they have said that they feel scared in the schools, and they also feel like the teachers don't care, and that was a little alarming to me. Growing up myself, I never felt like that with my teachers. My teachers made me feel like I had an outlet, that I could go to them if I wanted to do something. I actually asked a lot of questions of the kids. I asked them, and I gave them examples of things I did when I was in high school. I started a poetry club because one didn't exist. I went to one of my teachers and said, would you sponsor this? And I asked these kids, do you feel comfortable if something doesn't exist in your school, of going up to your teachers and asking them to sponsor something or to help you create something? And they all said no. And I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert in anything. I just like to start conversations and maybe try to throw out some solutions and see what might stick and how we can help. But we need to find a way to cultivate an environment where these kids have a voice and where they feel comfortable expressing themselves. And if they don't feel that way, which clearly they don't, and they're not following rules, which I don't know, we were all kids. We need rules, we need boundaries. Some kids aren't getting that, and we need to enforce that. I don't know what the right answer is, but I know that there's many of us in this community that care deeply, and we're willing to work with you guys and try to find solutions to help these kids. I know I met with the superintendent and we came up with an initiative to try to connect some of the students with seniors in the community. And I'm just trying to see what can help, you know, because we need to do something. And I want these kids to prosper, because just being here with these smaller kids today, they are so inspiring, and kids have a lot of great ideas, and we were once one of them, and now look at, we're leaders in our community. That's where we started though. And so we need to give them hope. We need to give them a reason to feel like they have a chance. So, you know, just reiterating what she was saying, I did talk to these kids, and I'm sure you guys talk to the children as well, but we need to make sure that they're represented and that they feel like they can have a voice here. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to address the school committee?
Good evening. I'm Dennis Kodal. I'm on 32 Fifth Avenue in Woonsocket. I'm actually a relatively newcomer to the town. I've only been here a little over a year. I came up here from Louisiana, and I don't know if many people know that, but Louisiana is the #1 in violence, especially school violence in the country. Some of the trends that I saw there that I, bounced off of some of my friends who are working on their doctorate in education are things that I'm kind of seeing not enough to be as concerning as in Louisiana, but at least are trends that are a shadow here that I would like to kind of bring up. And the #1 thing that they learn, that he's learning in his doctorate, or he learned in his master's thesis especially, was parents feeling part and involved in the process, and being involved in that process is the #1 metric that he has seen for success. In areas where there is more parental involvement, there is more success in schools, there's more attendance, things of that nature. And what ended up happening in Louisiana is nobody knows where the cycle started, but the cycle pretty much went in some way, shape, or form, somewhere in this circle. Parents did not feel like their voices were heard. They did not feel like it mattered if they were involved. Then they became divested. Then students, activities and attendance, all of that dropped. Violence went up because they were not invested. When violence went up and, school ratings went down, then parents became more divested because they felt that the school and things of that weren't happening. It was just a feedback loop that kept going, and nobody could point to the blame. We just know that people became separated. They became unwilling to work together on this topic. Now, like I said, I'm new. I'm not going to point blame at anybody. I don't know where the feedback loop starts. I just want to reach out to try to find ways to see how I can help as well, as a parent who wants to be involved in improving, the school system in the towns, and set things up for my son as he comes up. There weren't a lot of parents left here anymore after the presentation left. So I don't know if that's because people don't care or people don't feel involved, or what the reason is for that. But I would love to hear and even meet with anybody and try to find ways that we could do. Those of us parents that want to be involved can try to reach out and bring more parents here, bring more parents involved, or find out why there's not trust in that system. There's always two sides to every story, and usually the truth lies somewhere in between there. So I'm not going to be accusatory, but obviously we have heard today that there are people that don't trust the system. So how do we get them trusting the system so that they can be involved, so that their students do better? If parents aren't involved, the students aren't going to get any better no matter what we do on an administrative side. So I feel that one of the biggest things that we can do is trying to do outreach outside of meetings like this to get these seats full, so parents feel that their voices matter. And the more they're bought into the system, the more we're going to see improvement in anything that we do, a force multiplier almost. Another thing that
You have 1 minute.
Oh, sorry, I was a little bit off top. I'll save it for another time. The other thing I kind of wanted to bring up is, if anyone can help me understand what kind of mentorship programs we have in the schools, because I'm seeing there's not a lot of outreach in the schools from things like there's no ROTC programs, there's not as many, there's obviously the trades and things of that nature, but just in general, a lot of people talk about hope. Students that have hope, students that have a plan, students that have a dream, they don't commit violence and they don't commit crime. And, I saw that in Louisiana, and hopefully we can kind of do the same thing here. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to address the school committee this evening? Then we'll go on to recognitions and announcements. Dr. McGee?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll tell you, the Savoy students and staff, that's a tough act to follow. And I would say, and I'll get to it also a little bit later when I speak about climate and security, but I can tell you tonight was a great example of teachers in the Woonsocket Education Department who do care. Our teachers in the Woonsocket Education Department care for our kids, and you saw it tonight. Congratulations to our amazing guitarists from Savoy. They did an incredible job. So proud of them. So proud of Mrs. Kader and the job she does at Leo Savoy, as well as the teachers that were here this evening and the teachers that are there that were not here this evening. But those that were here, Mr. Tremblay, Mrs. Piscanic, and Mrs. Lewis. Great job with the kids. And I think that our middle schools and our high school look out in the future, because we have a pretty large guitar section that's going to be coming up. So very exciting. I would like to announce for the 2026 Woonsocket High School class, our top 10 students. Number 1 in the class of 2026 is David Vega. Number 2, Timothy Silva. Number 3, Anu Lee. Number 4, Gabriella Alves. Number 5, Riley LeVake. Number 6, Kaylee Lamoureux. Number 7, Malin Sane. Number 8, Wyatt Utley. Number 9, Benjamin Fowler. And number 10, Jeremy Dubois. Congratulations, and we'll be celebrating, yes. As we get closer to the end of the school year, and it's
coming
right around the corner, we will certainly be celebrating those students and students across our district very soon. So again, congratulations to those students, and congratulations to our Savoy musicians and teachers and staff who were here this evening. With that, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my recognitions and announcements.
Thank you, Dr. McGee. Not only our teachers do a great job in keeping our children safe and giving them a good education, but we have our principals here, and I want to congratulate all of you for the great job you're doing in your schools. Wonderful. Anyone else?
Nope.
Then I'll make a motion, receive and place on file the recognitions and announcements. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now we'll go to the approval of minutes, and I'll make a motion to approve the February 9th, 2026 special open meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Any changes to those minutes? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kapiskis.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to receive and accept the February 11, 2026 closed session minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Any changes to those?
Nope.
Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kapiskis.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
I'll abstain.
Next, I'll make a motion to approve the February 11, 2026 open session meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Second by Vice Chair Burke. Any changes to those minutes? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget.
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kapiskis. Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Abstain.
Now we'll go into the consent agenda, and I'll make a motion to discuss and approve field trip conference requests and homeschooling requests only. The purchases, transfers are not available for this evening. Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Anyone want to take any of those items out?
Nope.
Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, we'll go into our communications, and I'll ask our representative to give us the student representative report.
Good evening. My other representative, Natalie, couldn't make it today, but I'm here. We'd like to start off by mentioning our class officers for the class of 2026. We'll be making a fundraiser for prom that starts Monday through March 16th. The play this year, which we're very proud of, High School Musical 2, will take place April 9th, 10th, 11th, all at 7 p.m. Tickets will be selling soon. And then I would like to speak up about Yonder Pouches. We started today, so I couldn't really put a note, but we started today. And honestly, I didn't see any issues. It was a smooth start. Students, like, it honestly felt good walking around the building without students just having their head down into their phone and actually having conversations with each other. That was like new. No distractions during classes. That was like amazing. We just everyone got their work done fast, and we were able to, like, if we had free time at the end, to talk or work on other work that we had to do. So it was just like, instead of every second the teacher like, put your phone down, put your phone, like, it was just like, it was good. I don't know if anything happened. Admin probably hit it, so if it did, but I don't think it did. Knock on wood, I can't find any. But it was good, and I hope it's like that for the rest of Woonsocket High School's career. And the 9th grade had their dental checkup, sorry. That happened March 4th. They all got their teeth checked, and I hope they all brush their teeth. And then seniors also had our vaccinate before you graduate. That was on March 6th. I personally didn't go. I have all my vaccinations done, but I heard it went pretty well. Then our talent show, which is tomorrow. It's from 7 to 9 p.m. Tickets are $8 at the door because now it's too late to buy them. And then girls basketball team, they made it to the playoffs, but sadly lost their first game. I don't know the exact score. Maybe I'll find out, but I don't know the exact score, but they lost, unfortunately. And then sad news for juniors and sophomores. PSATs and SATs will be happening April 1st, and senior portfolios will be due that day. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good
Any
job.
questions, comments? Then I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the student representative report. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The strategic plan update will be discussed at our next meeting, so we'll table this item for this evening. Dr. McGee, may we have your report?
What is it tonight with me following tough acts here? That was great, but I'm going to do
Great
my
job.
best. So I have quite a few items on my report. I'm going to move the climate and security to the end because I'm going to get into that a little bit in more detail than some of the other. First agenda item is personnel matters. So currently we have across the district 4 teaching vacancies. We have 15 paraprofessional vacancies, and we have 3 custodian vacancies. And the committee has the spreadsheet with folks that we have hired recently, going all the way through the hourly stipend extracurricular positions. So if anybody has any questions with respect to that first agenda item, I would be happy to either answer them or attempt to answer them. Okay.
We're good to go.
Second agenda item, bullying report update. So the committee has a copy of the September 2025 through December 2025, the total number of bullying incidents by school, the total number of incidents in where it in fact was established to be a bullying, or it was not established to be a bullying. You have that. We also, because as we're in March, we collect data from January through the end of the school year. So we can focus on both of those if you like. And then you also have a couple of sheets which lists by school what each of the schools are doing to try to promote kindness and to try to decrease the amount of bullying that's happening. I also have invited the principals here this evening because I know, bless you, I know in years past the committee has had questions, sometimes specific to schools, which I'm not always able to answer. So if you have any questions with respect to me or the principals, we're
I guess
here.
one question to our principals would be, are they aware of any incidents that have not been reported that are not on these sheets? Is there anything that has occurred that just hasn't been reported yet? I see no's. So everything's reported? Yes. Okay.
I have a couple of
Mrs.
questions.
Costa, please.
So, I see a lot of zeros, which is fabulous, but I don't believe it to be true. There's a lot of I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of bullying that does go on in Woonsocket that is maybe students might be afraid to speak up. Maybe parents don't know how to go about it. I know we have the bullying access right on the front page of our WED website. But I kind of find a big problem with all these zeros. And I want to know about like the repeated, like we said before, the repeated instances, and what are we doing to rectify those and make sure that they're being corrected? If they keep being the same, say we get one bullying report and it's the same bullying report every time and it's a repeated offense, what are we doing to rectify that situation? Because there's been a couple instances where bullying has been occurred. I had a student that I'm actually in school with that was here last year, and she said that it was like pretty much put underneath the rug. She had a restraining order against an ex-boyfriend of hers, and they were put in the same class repeatedly, even against the no contact order. So I just want to make sure, like in the future, like things like that don't happen and that we are being careful for instances like that. I know in high school it's a little bit difficult because, you know, we have to switch classes and there's only a limited amount of teachers for certain topics that we have to learn and stuff. But I just want to know if we're really putting bullying, you know, up there where it should be, is my question. And that may be for all schools, for everybody in general.
Mm-hmm. I can start, and if anybody here would like to not speak to specifics, but speak to what the process looks like in your schools. You know, as you said, as you mentioned, Mrs. Costa, on our website, we do have a link for families and parents to access our policy. It provides information as to what process they should follow should they or their child feel as though they may be the victim of bullying. I know, and again, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but I know that our principals and at each of our schools, they send information out to families, you know, with respect to making them familiar and aware of the process. You know, if a student or a parent comes forward and alleges bullying, whether or not initially right then and there's a belief that there is bullying, the process is followed, and after that, you know, those interviews or whatever the administrator is doing to conduct that investigation, they make the determination whether bullying occurred or didn't occur. And that's why on this spreadsheet, it lists the number that actually occurred based off of the investigation, or some that was not bullying. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that that bullying doesn't occur. It certainly does. Sometimes it's not bullying because the definition of bullying is repeated, more than once. And sometimes it's an initial situation and there's an investigation and the administrator, handles the situation the way they feel is appropriate and it doesn't continue. If it does continue, then it would fall under the parameters of bullying if it's continued. So I don't know if anyone out there would like to talk a little bit about the process, how you notify parents of the bullying, the bullying policy, the anti-bullying policy.
We need to be comfortable sometimes. Can you turn your mic on?
Might not be on.
You do, but we have to have it on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come back up.
Is there anyone else that would like to address this?
Miss Cordia.
There we go.
I don't have much to add. I mean, we all kind of do the same thing, but I want to say that a lot of times, Mrs. Costa, respectfully, I've dealt with you and your kids. Parents think it's bullying and it's just kids learning what's socially appropriate and what's not. So, a kid calling somebody ugly is unkind for sure. And once we teach them why it's unkind and how the other person feels, we hope they don't do it again. But if they do it again and again, then it becomes a bullying incident. But if they learn from their mistake, it's not bullying, even though parents, want us to hang the students who call somebody else another,
Yeah.
I mean, we have to use good judgment. I can say that the whole district is using restorative practices, PBIS. I don't think I've ever met with Dr. McGee and students more than I have this year. I think 3 or 4 times I've had to meet with Dr. McGee or Kyle to reinstate a student. I mean, we take it very serious. When kids are unkind, but more importantly, unsafe too.
Absolutely.
So I think we're doing the best we can. I think it looks different at the high school and the middle school. At the elementary school, it's where they learn what is socially appropriate, and we are doing our best to teach them that. This particular 5th grade class was our first class, our COVID babies, we call them, where they didn't socialize at all the first year.
Yep.
So we had an uphill battle with them. But I think we're all kind of doing the same thing. We work really hard. I mean, we spend a lot of time on behavior and teaching the kids good social skills and morals. And we have a lot of support. And I'm really afraid for the budget to come out because I know that support might not look the same. But anyway, we are working really hard. And I think we have good support across the district. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I do just want to reiterate and just say thank you very much, because we have dealt personally with my twins, and has been nothing but a pleasant, full experience going through that and dealing with Miss Cordia. She's very, very professional, and she doesn't take anything, no BS. She's very, very straightforward, and I very appreciate that. And I know there's a lot of other teachers and principals like that, so you guys don't hear it enough, but I do like to say thank you for all of your hard work. It does go unnoticed sometimes, but we do notice it. So thank you very much for all of your hard work out there.
I'll speak very briefly about how the high school has been dealing with these issues. Everything starts with either the social workers or the deans meeting with any students who bring up what they might suspect as bullying. They meet with the individual students. They'll often meet with them together to see if there's a way that they can come up with a plan. Parents are also contacted by either the deans or the social workers in those situations. If we can't come to some type of an agreement, oftentimes stay away agreements is our next step. The first thing we do when we put a stay away agreement in place is we go to the guidance office and see if there's a way to adjust schedules so that students aren't in the same classes. To the point that you made earlier, sometimes that's just not possible, especially when we get towards upperclassmen who are taking specific elective classes where there's maybe only one option. And so we might have to work with a student to see if it's possible that they might want to switch out of a class, and we try to make that happen. But, with certain class, you made the point, there's some classes that only have a section. And if the kid needs it, there's nothing we can do about it. Except for to try and, get to the bottom of the issue, try and solve that issue and move on. I think we use some of the restorative practices that the elementary school mentioned, as well as, trying to work with students and their families to get to the bottom of whatever issues there are. I think Ms. Coder made a good point. Sometimes families think that it's bullying when it's just a misconstruing of a statement or misreading a post online. So hopefully with the Yonder pouches, some of that will go away.
I hope so.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. DeRozier.
Good evening, everyone. Last year when I presented, I also used this. It's really a teachable moment for our kids. I use this. I handed this out. It's called Is It Bullying? Sometimes I'm actually teaching the adults, the parents, of what this actually means for us. The first thing is, it's just not nice. The second one is, hey, kid, you're being mean. Knock it off. I mean, there's the definitions that go with it. But the next one is bullying. And it's a consistent, intentional, mean over time. And the thing that we're facing at Burnham a lot more than we ever have, obviously, is technology. It's happening outside. It's getting brought back into the school the next morning. The parents are calling me saying, my kid is being bullied on the computer. And I'm like, I can't do anything if you're at home. I will, if it comes into the school, I'm going to use this again as a teachable moment, but I'm seeing a lot more things that I don't even know what Snapchat, TikTok, whatever they're using to talk about their friends nonstop. Sending pictures of kids. They're using what they call memes, or they're making AI type pictures of people with different heads. And that's the things that we're starting to deal with. And it's like, it's going to be difficult to stop it because we can't go home with them. So I just wanted to put that side out there, but we're doing everything we can to talk to both. If it's a technology issue, a computer issue, it's contacting both sides, trying to because some parents don't even know. They'll say, I didn't even know my kid was doing that online.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that both parties know so they can monitor their kids on the computer as best as they can. But that seems to be the biggest thing that we're facing at Burnham. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeRozier.
Good insight.
Dr. McGee, you want to continue? Or-
That was what I had. If there are any other questions, I was going to move on to the next
Oh, that's what I mean.
topic. Oh, is that's what you meant?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, I can do that. Sure. All right.
Roll along.
Well, then I will.
Move it right along.
So the next item, the climate and security, as I said, I'm going to take out of order at the end, but post-secondary update. So just to give the committee a little information, and at a school committee meeting maybe later in the year, we're going to get into this in a little bit greater detail with our new Career Center director, Mrs. Napolitano. But I just wanted the committee to know that recently, Dr. Holt, myself, Mrs. Napolitano, Miss Aguia, you were there, right, Rania? That's right. Okay. Yes. Yes. I thought you were.
And thought you were.
And Lynn Hawkins, who is our Woonsocket High School department chair. We attended a workshop which was actually held here, not here. It was at Villanova. It was an accountability regional meeting that the Department of Education conducted, and the school districts in the northern part of the state, superintendents, assistant superintendents, curriculum directors, were invited to this. And it was a work session where we were able to choose topics to focus on. We chose post-secondary success. So what do I mean when I say post-secondary success? What I'm talking about is our high school students, the opportunity that we provide them to take advanced placement courses, to take part-time dual and concurrent enrollment courses, and full-time dual enrollment courses. So advanced placement courses currently at the high school, we offer a total of 14 AP courses, ranging from AP Biology to AP Pre-Calc. I have a list that I can share with the committee. So and we have a nice number of students that are taking those courses. It's always our goal to increase the number of advanced placement courses, because those are opportunities for our students to gain when they take the AP exam, to potentially get college credits before they graduate from high school. There's also an all-course network opportunity for our students to be a part of as well, and that is currently we have 5 students, and that's an online opportunity for our students to take courses that they otherwise would not have the ability to take at the school. We have 4 students who are taking AP Statistics, and 1 student who's taking AP Computer Science Java.
Wow.
So again, it's about opportunities and providing all of our students with the opportunities for these courses. Dual and concurrent enrollment. Concurrent enrollment means that our students are taking college level courses at our high school with teachers at the high school who are certified to teach those college level courses. So we currently have a number of students who are taking those concurrent enrollment courses. Dual enrollment means we have students who are they're seniors, and they're actually taking courses at colleges. We have a CCRI Running Start. So through the Community College of Rhode Island, we have 1 student who is at CCRI all day and is getting college credits before this student graduates from Woonsocket High School. And New England Technology, Institute of Technology, we have 2 students who are attending that institution all day and are getting credits for those classes. So I just wanted to make the committee aware that our students have access to these opportunities. It's always, as I said, our goal to increase the number of students who have these opportunities. We make this known to our students and to their families each year for the all-course network. There's a catalog of courses that students can take, basically. So that's something that the Department of Education prepare Rhode Island dual enrollment. They coordinate that with districts. So again, we want to make sure that our students are on a level playing field with the rest of the state. And I believe that we're doing a really good job of providing those opportunities, but we're always looking to see what more can we do, what more can we offer those students. The next agenda item I have is conference. So you all remember, I'm sure, that Dr. Holt and I went recently in November to Nashville on the National Conference for School Superintendents. And not only did we go there to get information to bring back, which we did, we got some good information to bring back, but we actually presented, Dr. Holt and I presented at two separate roundtable discussions for folks that were attending that conference. And I gotta say, Dr. Holt did a fantastic job preparing for it, and really I was there with her, but she was the one that really made the engine work here. So I
That's great.
thank you,
Well
Dr.
done.
Holt. And so what did we talk? What was the roundtable about? You must ask. You must be asking, right? So we all know that that we are working with instructional empowerment, i.e., we've been working with them for a few years now, and we through our model of instruction, which is not just an event that occurs in a class, it is the model of instruction that the expectation is in all of our classrooms. That's what our teachers use to teach the curriculum. It's a way of teaching the curriculum. It's not the what. The curriculum is the what. The standards are the what. The MOI is the how. It's the pedagogy. I'm sure Mr. Burke, you know exactly about pedagogy and the importance of using a good pedagogy when you're teaching students. Anyway, they chose us because we are recognized across the country as a district that is doing some really impressive things around the model of instruction. And I'm very proud of the work that we're doing, that our teachers and staff are doing. Dr. Holt is leading that. And it was just a great opportunity for us to share with districts literally across the country with what we're doing and best practice of what we're doing right here in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. So we're going to continue that great work with instructional empowerment, and we're going to ensure that all of our teachers are utilizing the model of instruction across the district. The last item I have is climate and security update. So I'm going to talk a little bit about safety. I'm going to talk a lot about the yonder pouches. So it was discussed during good and welfare earlier, the concerns with safety across the district. And I think I think you'll agree with me that is something that I and my team and the committee has not taken lightly. We've put a lot of things in place over the last year and a half. I will say that at the high school, the incidence of violence has decreased greatly since last year. And that's something that has been a collective effort from many, many people. So are fights happening? Yes, fights occur in every district. Unfortunately, in Woonsocket, when a fight occurs, they're on the news is on speed dial. But when it happens in Pawtucket or Providence, it's not. So, but that's the environment that we live in right now. But I can tell you that it has decreased substantially at the high school, which leads me into the update on the yonder implementation. So we started implementation of the yonder pouches this week. I will say that it is something that we prepared for. We worked very hard to go and observe other districts, like districts to ours, large urban districts. High school, we went to a middle school to see how they coordinate it. We spent a lot of time in preparing for this. I want to commend the high school and the middle school administrators. I want to thank the union for being a part of this process, because this wasn't something that just the administration established top down. I want to thank the staff who are working, who supported us in preparing for the rollout. I want to thank the staff who are supporting each day as the procedures have started this week. I want to thank the students, because I think the students have done a great job. And we heard firsthand from a Woonsocket High School student who is in agreement that eliminating cell phones during the day is the best thing we could have done. I'm not sure if anybody has read the book, The Anxious Generation, but I think anyone who looks to make the argument that students should have cell phones in school should read this book. It's eye-opening. So we rolled them out this week. The middle schools, they passed out the pouches on Monday. They started Tuesday. It's gone very smoothly at both middle schools. I was at Hamlet today at dismissal time because I wanted to see what it looked like. Very smooth. It doesn't take students long to figure out how to unlock their pouch, because God, they want access to that phone at the end of the day. So it was very smooth. But again, it's smooth because it was in the preparation. And again, I commend the teams at the middle schools and the high school for doing a really impressive job of coordinating this. Now, are we going to have our bumps? Of course we are. The schools that we visited and we spoke to, they told us there are going to be students who are going to try to sneak a phone in, and there are going to be students who do sneak a phone in. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty darn good. We're going to have students who are going to attempt to destroy the pouch. We're going to have students that do destroy the pouch. Those will be, the district will be reimbursed if those pouches are destroyed or damaged. And there's a whole process and procedure. I and the principals at the secondary level sent a lot of correspondence out to our families and to our students to prepare them for this. And I got to say, at the high school, Mr. Duregan, and as I said earlier, our high school rep, student representative, said that it's going very smoothly. I know in going around the middle schools for the last couple of days, I don't see cell phones. I see a lot of yonder pouches on the desk with the cell phone tucked safely inside, but I don't see kids on cell phones. And I think that this is the best decision that the Woonsocket School Committee and the Woonsocket Education Department has made in a long, long time. Because let me tell you, if you went through the high school prior to today, all you see are kids walking around with their cell phone. And again, are some going to sneak by? Probably, but when they are caught, they're going to be in the minority. Let's put it that way. The goal is for them not to take the phone out. So if they're hiding it somewhere and they're not taking it out, it's a win. I think we're going to start to see kids communicating with one another, talking to one another, making eye contact with one another, listening better, doing their work. And you're going to find less teachers having to say, put your phone away, because it's a disruption. So I know, I'm not sure if Mr. Duregan is still, he is. And I'm not sure, I can't see around the corner. I gotta, Jen, and so I actually would, if the three of you would come up, I would love for you to share a little bit of what you've experienced this week.
We're turning this on. I caveat everything I'm about to say with today was the first day.
Knock on wood.
We handed out 85% of the pouches to students between Monday, Tuesday, and this morning. We did not send any students home today. Everybody complied with what we asked of them. I walked around the building and talked to students. I talked to teachers. I talked to staff. Some of the things I heard from students was it was nice. I talked to people I've never talked to before. I felt more productive in class today than I've ever felt. And when I talked to staff, the staff that were in the lunchroom today said it was the loudest lunchroom they've been in many years because kids were actually talking to each other. Being in the hallways at passing time, kids were talking to each other, not walking with their heads down into people. It was amazing. Teachers felt that they had the support of admin. We created a system where teachers just sent students to lecture hall A and admin took care of it. So teachers could keep teaching. And it worked. We only confiscated about 20 phones today. Students who did not have pouches because they left them at home, turned them in the office without any fight. I think I had 2 arguments that lasted about 10 seconds with students today. So I can't, the teachers feel really happy about what's going on.
Great.
And I think the students, though begrudgingly accepting what happened, having used yonder pouches, they've come around. We obviously are going to have a few that are difficult, but they have done what they need to do. And so that's what's going on at the high school. I'm hopeful tomorrow, as I said to the staff at our meeting yesterday afternoon, today was going to be the worst day. And every day is going to get better from today. And today was a really good day.
Thank you.
Good job.
Let me know.
So Jen and I pretty much rolled it out same day, same way, because we want to keep the schools consistent. I can't speak for Jen, personally with her rollout, but I'm really proud of the staff because so many people came to support the process, and also my vice principal. We put a lot of planning into this. The kids have been absolutely amazing, no complaints at all. We had in the past 2 days, 1 child who tried to sneak the phone. But actually it was a mistake by a staff member because the child said, I do have my phone. And the phone wasn't taken until I had to get it myself. But even then, not a problem at all. And I think it's actually going to have, like Mike had said, and the rest of the folks, have people speaking to each other again and forming, interpersonal relationships. And that's really important because we lost it. And I believe that we also need to give the kids a little bit of time to get used to it because we did not grow up with it the entire, our whole lives. They literally have to detox from these things. So we really need to give them some time. But so far, knock on wood, it's been great. Thank you.
So same for Hamlet. First day was yesterday that they came in. All the students were in class right before 8 o'clock. I had 12 phones of students who forgot pouches at home. So out of the whole building, only 12. Today I had 5 who forgot their pouches, either in the lockers or at home. And all the students were in class by 7:45. So every day it's actually going a lot faster and smoother than I thought. I thought I was gonna have a lot more kids forgetting the pouches at home, but no. And then at the end of the day, dismissal, when they take their phones out of those pouches, it's bananas to look at. They are just like, gotta get the phone. So the teachers are saying that there's less distractions. They feel a lot of the kids like carrying the pouches because they know that they have their phone with them and they're not going to get in trouble for having their phone with them. So yeah,
stuff.
overall, really well.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just wanted to add really quickly, at the end of the day today, we rang the bell 10 minutes early to ensure that we didn't mess up the buses for the elementary school kids. The bell rang at 2:05 and normally rings at 2:15, and all the students were out and on their buses in 10 minutes with them unlocking their pouches. So I think we can get the full school out of the building in 10 minutes, just like we always have, even with these pouches.
Great.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Love to answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Chairman.
Chair Burke.
Just a little anecdote. Back in the day when I was teaching and there were cell phones in the classroom and we did say, put them away, I never forgot the time I was on hall duty and two students, two girls, they passed each other in the hall. And one girl says to the other, "Did you get my text?" The other girl says, "Yeah, I did. I responded." And I thought, this is how they communicate. I just want to say, too, it was great to hear from our student rep tonight.
Yes.
And Dr. McGee said that she talked about the positive outcomes that she saw happening today, too. So, knock on wood, it continues.
You know, it's early, but it looks good. It's going in the right direction. That's wonderful.
It is, and look, there are going to be roadblocks. I mean, it's not perfect, but I can tell you that I have spoken to parents over the last month or so, just not specifically about for the purpose of talking about Yonder, but I've said to them, you know, the Yonder pouches are coming, and every parent that I spoke to said thank you, because they understand that the phones are a major distraction during the school day. And again, I just want to thank my staff. I want to thank the teachers, and I want to thank the students for, you know, for doing just a great job for the rollout. And again, I know it's only been the first and second day, but I'm glad I'm sitting here tonight saying it was a success versus saying, it didn't really go that well.
Right.
Dr. McGee?
Anyone else?
I just want to say, I'm very hopeful just hearing the positive responses within just the first couple of days of this going out. A lot of, I think, the bullying that we're dealing with also comes from internet, like they said. And I'm hoping that with the phones being away, that could be like a big elimination, and we'll see more positive reinforcement and positive reenactment with other students engaging, and then maybe they'll realize, well, wow, I was really picking on this kid, but I didn't really even get the chance to know them, rather than, you know, say, oh, I'm just going to pick on this kid just because. Now we're putting our phones away and we're actually having to deal with students, you know, and interact. Hey, like, I like this person, you know, I got a new friend, you know, who knew? Like, what would happen if you put your phones away? So I'm just hoping like us eliminating those phones in school will lead to a positive, a more positive environment than what we have right now.
I was in the stairwell today at Hamlet and at dismissal time, because again, I wanted to see how it was, how it went, the dismissal. And there were tons of students coming and teachers there, and they were unlocking. And one student looked at me and he says, "Dr. McGee, why did you do this to us?" And I said, "You're welcome."
Yep. Yep, I think it's going to be very positive, and again, kudos to, you know, the teachers and the staff that are actually dealing with the students, because, you know, there is going to be pushback, there is going to be bumps, but I give kudos, hats off to you guys.
Anyone else? Mrs. Kapiskas?
You know, I have something to
I've
say.
been waiting for you all night. Let's go do it.
I do have something to say, especially on the cell phone policies. I've seen a lot of keyboard warriors today on social media complaining about, who does the principal think they are, telling our kids they can't have cell phones. And I'd just like to remind all those keyboard warriors who aren't here tonight, surprisingly, always, never here tonight. But I want to make it clear that in 2016, this school committee, not this current school committee, but the school committee of the school department of Woonsocket already had a cell phone policy. We enacted a cell phone ban in 2016. What happened with that cell phone ban? Impossible to enforce. Why was it impossible to enforce? Because teachers are supposed to be teaching, not policing, and parents are supposed to be parenting, not letting their kids take cell phones to school when they're banned. But they were letting their kids take cell phones to school, and here we are. And whether or not you're aware of it, there's a state law that's been enacted that says, as of August of this year, it is every district must have a policy that bans cell phones in schools. We've already had one. We've had one for almost 10 years. But we enacted a stronger policy. We put more bite in it. We associated penalties. But the burden was still on the teachers and the administration, because we weren't getting any help from the families, making the kids leave the cell phones at home. And who are the biggest keyboard bullies today? Those same parents, those same families. I want to be able to reach my child. Well, guess what? When I went to school in the dark ages, when we rode dinosaurs to school and we took the SATs on stone tablets, if there was an emergency at home, my mom called the office. Actually, if the house was on fire, I could see it from where I went to school, but she would call and say, I'm coming to get her. We're going to do the same thing. As you're all aware, Mr. Notariani and his department have done their best to make sure we have working intercoms, working phones in every school. So there's a system in place. Your kid doesn't need a cell phone in class. They don't need it at lunch. They don't need it in the hallway. You chose not to police them. So the bottom line is this district had no choice. We went to the only option available, yonder pouches. And that's where we are. And anybody who's paid any attention to these meetings knows that I'm not a fan of yonder pouches. I don't think they're particularly successful, but heck, if they're going to work for us, go for it. I hope they continue to work. I am very pleased to hear with the positive results that have gone so far. But those parents who complained on social media, our next meeting is when, Mr. Chair? Do you know when our next meeting is?
25th.
On the 25th of March. You're welcome to attend on the 25th of March and let your voices be heard during good and welfare. We can't respond then, but I guarantee you if enough people show up, I'll add a line item on the agenda and I'll address this and I'll repeat my whole speech all over again. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Bravo.
Today was the wrong day, Mr. Chair, just the wrong day.
Why? We expect this from you every meeting, Mrs. Kapitska.
You didn't give any reports today, Lynn. You had to do something.
This is true. I had no subcommittee reports.
We saved half an hour, but who's coming?
Well, let's go. Let's keep it rolling, huh?
Glad I'm not following that.
Anyone else? Miss? Nope.
I can't follow that.
All right, you choose. Then I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the superintendent's report. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now we'll go to the subcommittee reports. Due to unforeseen circumstances, we did not hold a finance subcommittee today, and we will be holding it at our next school committee day on March 25th. So there will be no report tonight. So next, we'll go to the students' safety and behavioral health report. Mr. Leclerc.
If
Not
you still
me.
have the gumption, you can do this report if you'd like, Lynn.
No, actually, if you look at the agenda, I'm no longer your co-chair.
I know it
It's
says
me.
Costa. That's where it says Amy. I was like, huh?
I've seen it too, and I said, wait a second, I'm not part of this report. Let me give it.
Right.
Sorry.
Now we saved another 15 minutes.
With that, we held a meeting on March 10th at 4 o'clock in room 124 at the Hamlet School. We approved the meeting minutes from 1/13/26, and we moved on to the agenda, which was a report from elementary schools. The elementary schools showed there was still some areas of concern at Harris relative to trash being thrown in the yard and some minor behavioral issues. The yard is a daily concern, and it's still being monitored by staff at the Harris School. They're working on that. There was also some information brought up where Globe is recently having some behavioral issues relative to recess with some of the students. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It just seems to be picking up a tick, but the Globe staff is dealing with that and handling the issues that have occurred. There's also an issue with lack of substitutes at the elementary level, which is something we've had an issue with as far as staffing consistently, but it seems like it went very well. In your report today for staffing, it seems like we're doing pretty good. The issue is also when subs are out, sometimes paras will take care of the classrooms, but then when that's the case, we need other paras to fill in for those paras. So there's still things going on with paras as far as hiring. There's some classes that are being instituted from the WED relative to training for paras and behavioral intervention. Also, there's another one for that's coming up in the future relative to more training for the paras. There's also training sessions at the VOTEC relative to teachers' assistants. That should help in that area also. That was all for elementary schools. We went to the middle schools next. Currently, there was nothing really on the no complaints relative to the middle schools. There was some issues brought up from outstanding issues relative to cameras and intercoms and parking issues, but those are still in play and they're still being worked on. So it's just a matter of them getting finished. There was no report for the WAC Tech in the high school. SROs are continuing to train remaining staff and analysis procedures. Those are the individuals that have been lagging and then just trying to pick those up. New phones, clocks, and bells are still are active in the high school. Is that correct, Mr. Notariani? Yep. And they're working on some minor issues with those, but those all seem to be doing fairly well. Lost fobs were mentioned relative to WED personnel, and there's an issue, and it should be, once they're lost, they should be reported right away so they can turn those off. Cameras have arrived for installation to some of the schools, but they're waiting for a purchase order for the light camera license. So once that's done, those they'll begin installation internally. I'm not going to touch yonder pouches because Dr. McGee handled it very eloquently. So that's all set. And then we chose the next meeting date as 4/14 at 4 o'clock in this building in room 124.
Thank you, Mr. Leclerc. Any questions for him? Then I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the Student Safety and Behavioral Health Report. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Tonight, we will not have a financial update due to unforeseen circumstances, but we will have an update on March 25th. New business, the first item is no longer necessary. So we will go to number 2. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the district's 2026-27 school year calendar. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, you have before you as Chairman Bourget just said, you have the 26-27 Woonsocket Education Department academic year calendar. Nothing really out of the ordinary here from year to year. Our first day of school is scheduled for August 25th. Our last day of school, and unfortunately, it's not always the last day of school, which I'm going to talk to you about a little bit later, but the last day of school is scheduled for June 10th. If you have any questions, we have a professional development day, and that is, we decided to keep that professional development day in October as we did this year. Typically, that professional development day is the day after our teacher and staff orientation day, and we just felt, Dr. Holt and I and other directors just felt as though providing us with a little bit of time in the beginning of the school year before that professional development day is really necessary for any types of programs or things that we need to train staff for.
That's good.
Is there anything else? Anyone else? Any questions, comments?
Oh, good.
Dr. McGee, roll call.
Chairman Bourget?
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus?
Yes.
Mrs. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc?
Yes.
The next item, a discussion and approval on outstanding invoices from the Woonsocket City Council, specifically auditing invoices and SRO invoices, will be discussed at our next meeting. So I'll make a motion to table this agenda item to our next meeting. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Leclerc, Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee, roll call, please.
Chairman Bourget?
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus?
Yes.
Mrs. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc?
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to discuss and approve to request the 180 waiver from the Commissioner of the Rhode Island Department of Education. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Leclerc. Dr. McGee.
So, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, a couple of things here. The first item here under this new business is having the committee approve our request, which is the request of the commissioner to the Elementary and Secondary Education Council for the state of Rhode Island to waive the Monday and Tuesday, which would be February 23rd and February 24th of the blizzard. I don't want to speak for the commissioner. I know that she is going to be meeting with the council on March 31st, and that's when she'll be notified of their decision. The reason for that, and again, I don't want to speak for her, but is that those 2 days were declared states of emergency, so you could not,
Right.
You couldn't drive. The governor had issued a state of emergency, so that's the first part of this is approving that, so that as a district if those dates are waived, then we are waiving them as well. Beyond that, I wanted to share with you the number of days that we have to make up in the district. So just so the committee and the community are aware, when school is canceled for, let's say, something outside of inclement weather. For example, at the high school this year, we had a boiler issue, and that was on January 30th. So we did not have school, could not have school. We issued a request for a waiver to the Department of Education. They denied that request, which means that day on January 30th would need to be made up. So the way it works is we're no longer is the Department of Education, has the Department of Education established a number of days that are made up, but it's instructional minutes. So the minimum number of instructional minutes per day are 330. So at the high school, we have 331. So what I'm proposing to the committee, and I'm just starting with the high school here, and I'm going to get to the snow days in a moment, is that we take the remaining days starting on Monday the 16th of March, to the remainder of the school year, and we add 2.5 minutes. That will give us the number of minutes, instructional minutes, that we need to make up that one day at the high school. So that's the high school. Beyond the high school, we had a total of 3 snow days in January. We had January 26th, January 27th, January 28th. The blizzard, and I'm going to add initially the Monday and Tuesday, which the commissioner is looking to have waived. We have a total of 5 days that week. So it's the 23rd of February, the 24th, the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. So again, we're going to be waiting on the commissioner's information from the council. But right now we're looking at having to make up district-wide a number of 5 snow days. I'm sorry, got my notes here, of 6 snow days. So what my proposal is that we extend the school year. And by the way, this is something that we've really always done. I can remember years ago when we had a total of 9 snow days. It was a crazy winter. And we didn't try to add instructional minutes to the day. We just extended the school year. So my request is to extend the school year so that the school year would now end on Thursday, June 18th, which is the day before Juneteenth, which is a holiday, national holiday. I am choosing not to come to you to request losing April vacation. That's not an option as far as I'm concerned, because we have staff and families who schedule vacation time. And we would have to obviously have staff here to be in front of students, and we just would not. That's the reality of that. I chose not to add instructional minutes because if we did choose to end the school year on the initial date, which is June 10th, we would have to add across the board from elementary through the high school, we would have to add approximately 30 minutes onto the day.
You can't do that.
Now, if you recall, a couple of years ago, Globe Park, when they had the incident with the situation with the leaking roof, I made the decision, or I brought to the committee the decision to add on to the school day because it only affected Globe Park. And I wasn't going to have Globe Park add 6 days beyond the end of the school year. So that's the logic around not adding minutes this time around and just extending the school year.
I agree.
So that's where we stand now. So again, to review, the high school, because they have an extra day, they have the boiler day, there are not a lot of minutes to add, so that will not have an impact on scheduling. It really won't have an impact on families.
Graduation.
It's 2.5 minutes that will be added in the morning.
Not 2.5 minutes, Dr. McGee.
What?
What do you mean?
I said, no, not 2.5 minutes. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yes.
He wasn't good at it, but
You
he
got
was trying to be.
You got me. So I thought I miscalculated for a second.
No, I'm just saying.
So
like,
2.5 minutes would be added beginning Monday through the end of the school year.
makes sense.
Our seniors still have enough days in the school year. Seniors have to be in school for 171 days, so that would not affect that. So graduation will not be affected. Graduation will still be held on Friday, June 5th. So that, I kind of gave you a lot, and trust me, we, myself, Dr. Holt, Mr. Natariani, the members of the union leadership, we looked at this over the course of a couple of separate meetings. And, initially the thought was, well, maybe we can just add minutes on and we don't have to extend. But that would be too much of a disruption really for our families based off of the experience at Globe Park, because the number of minutes we would need to add this time would be very similar to very close to the number of minutes we added that time. And that was a bit of a,
and that would have to be across the whole school district, you said, if we were to do that way.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes,
no,
that's
too
correct.
much.
Let me ask you something. We have a motion on the floor to discuss the 180-day waiver.
Mhm.
What you're talking about now, these minutes and plus the extended week, right? Is that something we're voting on, or is that something you're telling us the administration's going to do? Do we have to vote on that?
I'm telling you that's what, so,
Only because it's not on this
right,
motion.
so I'm telling you that's the decision of the administration.
We didn't vote for
Because
Globe Park
in
either.
years past, when we've added days to the school year,
Right.
it hasn't come to the committee, it's just been
Yeah.
added.
Yep.
But it's just informational
Fine.
for the committee so that you know that we are going to add the 2.5 minutes at the high school and extend for everyone to June 18th.
Okay.
However, you do need to vote on
Oh, yeah, the
the
waiver.
The waiver.
That's
the
what we've
2-day
got on
waiver.
the floor. I just want to make sure we're not combining things. Any other,
Chairman, just
Vice
quickly,
Chair Burke?
there's still a possibility that we may get waived for the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th.
The-
Most districts did not go to school the 25th or the 26th.
They may not
So-
get waivers.
I bet you the state's gonna, I have a good feeling they're gonna waiver that.
I think the commissioner is only looking for Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's what's been communicated
Well,
to
see,
me. is it
that's
was
easy. Monday and
Tuesday.
Tuesday is an easy yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
a
'cause
couple
it
of
was-
years is to say for the rest of the week. This was a blizzard, all right?
Yes.
It broke records.
Yes.
In some parts of Rhode Island.
Yes.
I taught during the blizzard of 78. We had 2 weeks off and then vacation. We didn't have to make up those 2 weeks.
You taught back then?
I did.
So-
I used a shovel to get rid of the snow.
Anybody else has a shovel? Mrs. Kapiskas, anything?
I was alive and in school in '78. What was the Woonsocket Junior High School.
Yeah.
Walking home with my best friend, who was as thin as a blade of grass.
Oh my
And if
God.
you remember, the wind was horrendous.
Yeah.
So I had her holding on to my clarinet on one side and my backpack on the other to keep her from flying off the bridge.
Was the clarinet making noise in the wind?
Yeah.
No, it
It was
was
a wind
closed. It was in
instrument.
its case, but it was terrifying. But yeah, we had school. I was in the 8th grade.
I think we're ready to vote, Dr. McGee.
Thank you. I'd share my story, but I don't think anyone's really interested in my.
I didn't care.
I was at Valley
I
Forge.
was at
so
East
don't worry about
Woonsocket
it.
Elementary.
Yes, you were.
School.
I was at Valley
They sent us
Forge.
home early. Anyway,
You were on the boat. You were on the boat with Washington.
Chairman Bourget.
Yes.
Chairman
Yes.
Bourget. Yeah, yes. Vice
That was
Chair.
yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kapiskas.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:35 PM. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.